Today we will see Skynet IoT messaging platform. It is open source instant messaging platform. This Skynet API supports both HTTP REST and real-time WebSocket. We have already gone through two types of communication APIs. Number one, RESTful API and WebSocket based API. So Skynet IoT messaging protocol, it has various APIs, it has various application programming interface. These Skynet APIs support both the types of communication API, that is your HTTP REST as well as real-time web sockets. This Skynet allows you to register devices or nodes on the network. There will be an IoT application. In that IoT application, one network has been installed or created. If you want to add a new device into that particular IoT application network, for that purpose, you must have to register that device on the network. That device registration can be done by this Skynet platform. So it is responsible for giving unique ID to that particular device. It is responsible for include that particular device into the IoT network, due to which what will happen when there will be transmission of data from one device to another device. In that case, it will be treated as your authenticated user because it is already registered with network by Skynet, and Skynet has given the unique ID to that particular device, due to which other devices in network will identify that device as a part of that network, and they will start communicating with each other by sending data or by receiving data from those nodes, or there will be the exchange of data between these devices or node in the network. A device can be anything, including sensor, smart home device, cloud resource, drones, etc. So which can be your various devices or node in an IoT network. So a device can be anything. It can be either your sensor, it can be actuator, it can be any smart home device, it can be your cloud resource, drones, and so on. Whatever we have discussed till now in IoT, all those physical things, all those physical objects which are connected to your internet or which will be treated as your IoT devices can be your what? A device or node in that network. So every device in your network or every device in your IoT application will have unique ID, and that unique ID will be responsible of identification of that particular node in the network. This each device has unique UID and it will have secret token. On the basis of that UID and secret token, that device has been identified in the network by server or let's say some centralized node, so that they can easily share the information between various devices, and those devices can be identified with the help of this UID and secret token. Devices or client application can subscribe to other devices and they can receive or send various messages. So whatever devices are there in your IoT network, those devices are responsible for sending and receiving the data or sending and receiving various messages into the network or into IoT application, and they can subscribe to other devices also, so that after subscribing to other devices, whatever that device will going to generate, it will be received by subscribed device also. That's why a device or client application has an ability that they can subscribe to other devices also, so that they can start listening to whatever contents they are broadcasting. Those contents will be received by all the devices, as well as these devices are responsible for sending and receiving various messages in the network of IoT application. So this is what Skynet IoT messaging platform. So you need to remember that in case of your Skynet IoT messaging protocol, number one, it will support both the types of your communication API, REST and WebSocket. Second, Skynet will going to register various devices on the network. Device can be sensor, various smart home devices, cloud resource, drones, actuators, and so on. So these many physical devices can be registered in your network by Skynet. That is an important part. Then every device in your IoT application will have unique UID and it will have secret token. And what will be the functionality of these devices? These devices can subscribe to other device as well as they can send and receive messages among each other. Then next is gRPC. It is modern open source remote procedure call framework that can run anywhere. RPC stands for remote procedure call. So gRPC is modern and it is open source remote procedure call framework that can run anywhere and in any condition. It was initially developed by Google, that's why it is Google Remote Procedure Call, gRPC. Remote procedure calls are something that we use in distributed system. Usually RPCs are implemented in distributed system. This gRPC is based on client server model of remote procedure call. So it will going to support your client and server model where there will be one server and there will be more than one clients. Client will going to send the request to server and server will give response to the client. This is what the client server model is, and in that client server model there will be various RPCs. There will be different remote procedure calls. Client application can directly call methods on a server application if it was a local object. So in case of your RPC, client will going to call various methods available on the server, and server is responsible for sharing those procedures to client through remote connection only. And that's why it is treated as your what remote procedure call, because those procedures are called remotely. That's why it is the communication between client and server. So let's say there will be one server, gRPC server, and that server will have some C++ services. That means it will have some program written in C++ language. There will be one client which is working on Ruby, and there will be another client which will work on Android and Java. So server will going to communicate with various clients through network. Client will going to call a method available on server. It will going to send a request to server for remote procedure call. Server will going to check the request. On the basis of that request, server will going to send response to that particular client. In this way, there will be the communication between various clients and one server, and that server will be responsible for serving all the requests received from all the types of clients. So there can be multiple clients which will work on various technologies. There will be one server. Client will going to send a request to server for accessing procedures remotely. Server will going to serve the response to client's request. This is what RPC model is. Then next is SOAP. SOAP stands for Simple Object Access Protocol. It is one type of protocol which is used in IoT applications. This SOAP is XML based messaging protocol for exchanging information among various computers. So this protocol is a type of your messaging protocol which will always based on XML language, and this protocol is useful for exchanging information between various systems or computers. So whenever you need to communicate data between one system to another system, then you may use SOAP protocol which will based on XML. It is an application of your what XML specification. These communication protocols are designed to communicate via internet. So always communication protocol will work between various systems over the internet only. So to have successful communication between various devices, one protocol will be needed, and that protocol will always work on internet. This SOAP protocol can extend HTTP for XML messaging. It provides data transport for various web services. So if you wish to use different web services for your application, in that case, this SOAP protocol will treat as data transport for these types of different services. And data transport will be responsible for transmission of data between different nodes or different devices of your application. This SOAP can be used for broadcasting a message. If any user wants to broadcast a message between various nodes of IoT application, that user can use this SOAP protocol. With the help of this SOAP protocol, user can broadcast a message among various other users. So broadcasting of message can be done by this protocol. This SOAP protocol is platform and language independent, so it can work on any platform as well as it will work on any language. XML is a way of defining what information is sent and how it has been sent. XML will going to focus on what and how information has been sent over the network in various devices. That's why XML is used, because it will not only going to focus what information has been sent, but it will again focus on how that information will going to send between various devices. This SOAP protocol enables client applications to easily connect to remote services and invoke remote methods. With the help of this protocol, various client application can connect to different remote services which are available at remote location or at remote devices, and they can easily invoke those remote methods. So those remote methods can easily accessible by client system which are available on server system with the help of SOAP protocol. Remote procedure calls transported via HTTP. So whenever there will be remote procedure calls, those remote RPCs will be transported over HTTP only. So HTTP is very important protocol when you wish to have RPC between various devices in an application. Other frameworks including Corba, DCOM and Java RMI provides similar functionality to SOAP. So there are some other frameworks also similar to your SOAP, like your Corba, DCOM and Java RMI. But SOAP messages are written entirely in XML and are therefore uniquely platform and language independent. Why they are treated as uniquely platform and language independent? Because all the SOAP messages are written in XML only, because it is what your XML dependent. That's why these messages which will be floated between various devices using your SOAP protocols, those messages will always be written in XML, due to which this SOAP will be treated as your platform as well as language independent protocol, which is again treated as very important protocol in your IoT application development. Thank you.